Hey y'all, this is Brett, and today I want to talk about what real spirituality is. And a lot of people find a lot of different things to be spiritual that I really don't find so spiritual. And I'm going to talk about those things, but I'm mostly going to focus on the things that I think are spiritual. Now let's just ask some basic questions here, and I've written them down. Like, do you have to go to church to be spiritual? Well, I don't think that you have to go to church or any spiritual gatherings to be spiritual. I think that you can find inspiration in a lot of different things. But yes, you can go to church and get inspiration in the right direction. But you can go there and get bad inspiration. You can get led in the wrong direction in some gatherings or churches. Or, if you're smart enough and you have the ability to analyze things, then maybe you can just reflect on the bad inspiration and then choose your own path and go in the right direction. And so I think that sometimes it can be good, but if you're somebody that watches my channel, then you might want to choose, if you feel like you really need gatherings, and they can be important, then find one that's very open and not too dogmatic or judgmental, and just very open to that there's good and there's benefits in all different denominations, because that's the truth. In my opinion, that's the truth. It doesn't matter what country or what mantras you're saying over and over again, whatever it may be, there's a benefit from each and every one of them. And in the end, the ultimate spirituality will be a conglomeration of all of them, And so, let's go on to another question. Do you have to shave your head to be spiritual? And one of the other questions is, do you have to grow a long beard to be spiritual? Now, I'm somebody that grooves with nature. Okay, so I know I had a friend that was a Krishna, and he kept his hair almost completely shaved off. He left it about like that long or something. He shaved his whole head every 3 days or 5 days or something. Even in the winter time. And of course, we've all seen people that grow dreads, and they knot their hair all up, and they can't wash it. They certainly can't wash hair that's like that. And it's funny that people do all these things that are totally illogical in regards to comfort, and totally illogical with the seasons and nature. But they do them because they're following somebody's dogmatic thinking, or some book that they think is the spiritual path that they would like to take. And I guess that that's fine if they need to really adhere to somebody's stuff. But I don't do that. When it gets warm outside, I have a shorter haircut. When it's cold as hell, I like it longer, because when I'm sleeping in that bed right there, and my head is sticking out the top, I like to have a big thick bush on there to keep my head warm. Because it's comfortable. And I hate to say this, but women have long hair, and as guys we think that that's sexy, but at the same time it's not comfortable, and we all know that. And so I think that eventually all the women will have shorter haircuts, just more like guys, and they'll be more. Now, the thing is that if they all had beautiful bodies and beautiful skin, and they were all vegan and, just gorgeous, as far as all the other features were concerned, then they wouldn't have to do that. And if there was no egos involved, they wouldn't have to play that big competitive game anymore with all the other women. And so, that's true. And if anybody doesn't think that's true, I don't care, because it is. Do you have to wear a robe to be spiritual? That movie really was just so cool for me to watch on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it, but this guy, he went and depicted himself, he projected himself as an Indian guru, and he wore a robe, and he grew a big long beard, and he was actually an Indian, but an American film producer, and he fooled them so bad. But it was because largely, not just that, but he was a person that was just, his facial characteristics just showed that he was an advanced being. And if you want to truly see how somebody is, then look at their faces and listen to their voices. Use your senses to analyze them, not just your eyes as to what they look like and what they're trying to project, because a lot of them are fakes, phonies, And also, everyone has an ability to get close to God, and everyone is close to God sometimes, or not so much at other times, or really close to God at other times. But the deal is, who can be the most consistently connected to God? I might not even be near as spiritual as many of you think that I am, because, I still get pissed off, and when I'm on camera, I'm on my best behavior. We all have a deep desire to be just perfectly one with creation. And I like to say creation more than God or Jah or Allah, because I don't want to connect it too much with any religion, because my thinking is not grooving with that. And I highly recommend that you also find your own spirituality within yourself. And when you're not feeling well, when you're doing your healing, when you've been doing it as long as I have, then you don't want to be around other people very much. And when you're by yourself, you're not really by yourself. You're wanting to be, and you are with God or creation. Sorry. So you're with creation a lot more. And I think it really helps you to get deeper faith. And I like to use that word even though a lot of the religions use it, faith, because it hits the nail on the head so much. Do you have to read a book to be spiritual? The best books that I have written in regards, or read, in regards to spirituality were from modern authors. And the reason that I like the living modern authors is because I can understand them. I can understand exactly what Wayne Dyer is trying to tell me, because he speaks my language. He's not from 2,000 years ago. He's somebody that is far more advanced than most of them were, the book of this or the book of that. In my opinion, I don't read the Bible. I don't read the Bhagavad Gita. I don't read the Koran. I don't read those books because I don't believe that they have anything for me to really help me to progress. They just seem like things that were written for people back then. Not me now. So, do I have to chant mantras to be spiritual? I think that saying things over and over again that are in your language, or at least you understand the translation of them, can be very beneficial. But that if I have things to do that are beneficial on a real level, not just a verbal thing that I'm doing, it's good to connect with creation, and it's good to chant positive affirmations, if you will. These are like positive affirmations, mantras. And you say them over and over again. And I think that the word mantra is more of something that you're trying to do to connect directly to creation. And that's cool. But it's just to do it for too long. You know, some people, they'll bow for 5 hours a day. They'll do this and that for, you know. But I have better things to do with my life. And so I think that there's a balance there. And so I think everyone needs to find their own balance, and maybe that those people do need to do that for 5 hours a day. But I don't. I hope I'm not sounding like I'm bragging, but I just don't. I've got a lot of things to do. Do you have to give money to a religion to be spiritual? I think that yes, we need to give to whatever we think is the nearest and dearest to our hearts. And that may be a religion for you. For me, it's the animal charities, it's children charities, it's maybe herbal charities, or something that I find really, really awesome in this world. And you see, when you give your money or your time to things that are just like, they make you emotionally just like maybe cry, or you get choked up. When you give money to the things that make you feel good like that, then it brings more great energy constantly, continually to you. And that's what you want. You want good flow of out and in, constantly rotating in and out of your life. And so, if you're giving money to something, or you're giving your time to something that just doesn't really make sense, and you're doing it for some reason that maybe somebody else projected it on you, or television or something, you know, you need to educate yourself about different things. What are they doing with my money? You know? Is that a logical thing to do? And, you know, you may look up your charity on charitynavigator.com and really do the research to find out if it's a good charity or a good religion or whatever it may be. And so, in order to have the time for us to be able to do the research and to find out if that's a good thing to give money to, or to find out what we need to do to take care of our gardens or to take care of our pets or whatever it may be, we have to really free up our time. And so we have to, in order to be able to free up our time, we have to put our resources, whatever we have that's really, really awesome that we have to be able to provide for the world for, we have to put that out there. We have to use our greatest gifts so that we'll be able to make as much money as we can in the shortest period of time, so that we'll have a whole lot of extra time to do all these great things that we really want to do. So, you have to really think long and deep and hard about what your gifts are, because creation has gifted you with these gifts, and it wants you to use them because there's other people and things out there that need them. And when you give them your best stuff, when you give them your best stuff, then you get back the best stuff. Okay? So thank you for joining me. Be well.